We're doing things a little bit different this morning because we have a wonderful missionary and his family with us this morning, and so I hope you enjoy it. And I know that God has moved in their lives and is doing a great work for the deaf there in Peru. And I pray that you will continue to pray for them as they minister to the people there. And so I'm going to ask Brother Matt to come and take over the Sunday school hour, and then he'll also be preaching at the 11 o'clock hour, and we hope you will listen to that as well. Brother Matt, why don't you come? Thank you, brother.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I want to show you maybe a little bit of a problem in my signs, but because we've been working in South America, Peru, many years now, 8 years altogether,
Praise the Lord.
and I have forgotten so much ASL. You don't use it, you lose it. But I know that there's a base, a foundation of both signs that will fit, and we'll try. I will probably cut my voice off some. Is that gonna be okay? We're gonna be all right. First of all, I'm going to stand here for the Sunday school because I'm probably going to be a little bit slower than normal. But I have a story to tell you all, and with that story I have some blessings that God has shown us, and some applications, some things that we can practice, do, that will help. First of all, I want to explain that you'll see a video at church time about our work from 2012 to 2014. More or less, that's when Phoebe, the littlest girl, was born there in Peru, in Lima. And we worked on a time that we would be moving to the jungle from the city. Now, in the city, in the jungle, it's a big city. We have over 440,000 people there in the city that's in the middle of the Amazon River. That all of it sort of blends around it in this city. We have about 100 deaf that we know there in the city that we've been working with over the years. But no, back in 2019, it was good. Everything was normal. We had a big house that we were using for our house, and out front we had a porch area with a canopy that we used for the services, and we filled it up sometimes 60. It was good. It was a good day. Sometimes 4, that's 5. That was it. It just depends. But we had big metal, is that right? Metal doors that we opened up, and we just told whoever, come on in. We are Iglesia Bautista Puerta Abierta, the church, open door Baptist church. And people came in, sat down. It was good, but the rent on the house was going up. It was getting really difficult. Okay. So we decided to move a smaller house that didn't have a front porch area to have services. We decided to do that. The money, the rent was reduced, it was good. In the same area, close, around the corner, from the other house was good, because people knew, people could walk right there. We started it was good, in the living room, and it got full fast. We had Mother's Day, and all the moms, just the moms, were sitting around the outside wall. I think our living room is about half of this, about half of this, but a little more narrow. And so we had seating all along the wall. It was full. And in the middle, we kind of walked back and forth. So it was good. It was a blessing.
Amen.
It was full.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
But I'm thankful to God that the people started to notice, well, we don't have any room.
Amen. That's
what are we going
good.
to do? I said, well, it's your decision, but we've been talking with one of ladies in the church, a hearing woman, and her son had gotten saved and baptized, and they lived close around the corner, and they had a store that they worked doing soldering. You understand? Soldering, right? And her dad, he died, but he used to use part of the store for a bar, yeah, that, and he stored the beer bottles all in that area. Well, one, she told me the sister, oh my goodness, I can't remember sister, oh my goodness, there's so many differences, I'd forgotten. She told me that she'd be interested in us, the church, using that location. And I said, well, that's very good. She said, you want to give it to us? Whoa, hold on. The church should rent, do their part, the people. Your part, you know, that you work with us. Some, they don't do anything. And honestly, I want to encourage them to decide to give to a reason. So they all were, yeah, they agreed, good. We started putting money in. We had the competition, you know, the balance, the money going back and forth between the men and the women, back and forth. It was good, it was a blessing. I would say within time of a year, we had enough to start. And we put our part in from the other rent, was reduced now, and we started construction because it was an old, just with concrete, and the floor was dirt. So anyways, we worked, we put in the money, we looked for Christian men, workers, brought them in, and about all of 2019, work, got a roof on, put on corrugation because of a lot of rain. We're in the jungle, a lot of rain. And it was good. Ian, my son, got to work. He got to help carrying things. He was working, learning about things.
Amen. Amen.
We all got to see, you know, just sort of like how things just came together. I have pictures and video, but my computer with Ron's computer, it's not his fault, my fault. Mac with HP, I know. I didn't plan that. But anyways, I'm trying to use the story to help understand what happened. Other part of the blessing is that your support allowed us to continue with that and to have a smaller house. So we took some of that support and put it in the building. Their part of the offerings in the building, electrical, tubing for water, the bathroom, everything, water, the bathroom, everything. We finally got finished around close to time February. It's good. Doors were open. Everything was cleaned up. White. Everything's white. Everything's white. and we had steps in. It was big, probably double of our size before. Good. All the chairs in there. We had a podium. We had concrete. It was good. So in February, it was Valentine's Day. We invited some interpreters that work with deaf in other city that are good Christian leader. They came with us. It was a good time. We had heard about COVID in China, but nothing in Peru.
Wow.
This is February. Is that right? February? Do I just use the F? Just FEB. And that was the last service we had. Close the doors. Next Sunday morning, what happened? The president announced, no more church. Close. The entire country. Peru.
Wow.
Started here, and the United States was starting to progress, and things were being announced. Yeah, March 15th, it was shut, done. It was sad. It was really sad. We worked so hard to get that building done. And I hope that I can give you a vision of what that was. We also had big metal doors on the outside that pastor had worked himself soldering, put the doors on. Everything was beautiful. Out front we hadn't painted. We hadn't painted, not yet, but it was good. And then just shut. Oh, my heart sank. We just decided we'll just continue. We had some small groups in the house. No, you can't have that. No. Okay, well, first time we decided to have to do a live Facebook video. Because before, I would be preaching and she would video short, just to see what was happening. People could know what we were doing in the service. But this time it was full. I don't like standing in front of the camera. I don't know why. I feel that way. With people, I feel open,
Right.
normal.
Right.
But with the camera, I can't see your faces. I can't see your smiles and your frowns. I can't.
Amen.
So it felt different. But she worked hard videoing the kids. They helped. Around May, we started to hear, no, it was back April, we heard the hospital closed. One of the best hospitals closed in the city. That hospital is an Adventist church hospital, but good technology, the best in all of the jungle. It's closed. I'll be honest with you, I don't feel safe going to the other hospitals where we have seen people so close, sick, dying, because the medical was so bad.
Yeah.
It's just sad. That is socialism medicine. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if there's money, it's a matter of time and workers, and there's not enough, never. Anyways, we started to prayerfully consider what we're going to do. Just stay and continue, but if one of them just has a normal fall and needs stitches, where? It's not a good situation. It was hard to decide. Called pastor, called mission board. They agreed. If you can, now's the time to leave. But there weren't any flights. They had been closed. We were stuck. We had planned to go to Lima Lima, the capital city, for paperwork. For those two, for paperwork. We're stuck. We couldn't. We waited. We heard about embassy. The government embassy was contacting Americans and said they're interested in getting on a flight out of the city. We prayed and agonized. I mean, we're stuck. The building's closed. We can't have service in the house. I can go and visit, but it was very, very difficult. Now, some of the time we were allowed to take bags of food to some of the families, and that was good. But we just sort of felt we're just doing nothing. Thank God we got a call from the embassy, and they said, "You're interested, now's the time. Put your name on a list. You're a family, you have children, you're small. It's best. Come on with us." Okay, we'll accept that. It's God leading in this time. So in May, we all put on our masks, and put on gloves, went to the airport, waited. They checked the temperature for everybody with a scanner. We're good. We had been stuck inside for all that time. And we flew to Lima. That was about 2 hours. And then in the afternoon, later, we flew back to the United States. That's about 8 hours. Flight back to Florida, Miami. We felt relieved, but it felt like bye-bye forever. You know, it was a bad feeling. It's hard to explain. Our people, I contacted some by going to their house, knocking on the door and saying hi, explain, please pass it along, because that would have making gossip. So I figured some would be easy just to pass the word along. Some I saw on the internet, on the computer, and I explained to them, but many just didn't understand. I thought, leaving? You're not coming back? I don't know. It depends on the time. What we can do. America was normal at that time, but Peru was starting to shut everything. They had 2 times they had a lockdown, 2 times. So we have been here in the States since May. And it's been good to see family. My father, oh dear, in-law, my father-in-law and her family there in New Mexico. It's dry. Got cactuses. Maybe you see the Roadrunner going by. But we have felt at this time that God has allowed so that we all can be here for some reasons. One of them would be a reason is that we feel like it's time to vote, all of us together before mail-in. Mine came back. That was 2016. Hers went. Mine came back. Mail. It's a dangerous situation. It's just a commentary. Anyway, so this is a lesson that we have learned through this experience, and that was in the morning that we left the plane. Small. 15 people. That's it. Open at the front. 2 pilots and their radar. We all have masks on, gloves. Other families had come with, other missionaries also. We piled in there in the morning and felt like this is bye-bye, this was it. When we started to take off, I noticed the 2 pilots. You know what they did? They covered their windows. they took out these things that were shiny, silver, and put them up in the window to block the sun. I'm sitting there thinking, whoa, you need to see. You're flying a plane. You need to see. Need to. They were okay, but they were kind of surprised also. But do you know what that was? Those two pilots trusted their instruments.
Yeah.
They had dials and different things, and they had the radar, and they had lights and buttons, and they communicated with the tower, you know. I was just a little bit scared. I thought, we're gonna fly over the Andes Mountains, and we're in a little bitty airplane, and you can't see. So here's the lesson. First of all, there are 6 instruments on the panel for the pilot. It's a basic piloting in an airplane. The first one is the air speed. It's how fast the plane is going. And it can sense that through a tube on the end, the air, and it has a dial. It tells you it's going to be white or, no, white.
What?
White. That's different too. White or yellow or green or red. Like that. So I watched that and I understood something about that. The first one is that we maybe this time year 2020, we were all going too fast. And God allowed this time for us to slow down. You know, we tend to run red. You know what happens to an airplane if you continue red? The gears, they lock. And it can't continue. It just boom, shuts down. Crash. You can't continue. Do you know there's that cartoon Planes? Kids like watch. And they have the airplane that's orange colored. He used to work in a farm flying over, and he starts becoming a racer. Well, in the second one that they saw, and I like that, he's flying and he gets over into red and the gear breaks and he can't continue. He has to look for other options for work. I think that God was reminding us, it's time, slow down.
Yeah.
We have verse in Isaiah 40, verse 31. If you want to look at that, Isaiah 40, verse 31. I don't know if we'll get through the whole thing here. We'll see.
I do, brother.
I'm not used to it. In the jungle, no tie too.
Wow.
Wow. Because I can't. I sweat so much.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, some of the Peruvians themselves, well, they put on tie, preach, hot, no matter. Me, look like a wet dog.
Yep, me too.
Okay, so Isaiah 40, verse 31. You ready? Isaiah 40. Eagle. Eagle.
L-E.
No. E. Go.
Eagle.
Eagle, yeah.
Eagle.
You're right.
Okay.
Eagle.
Okay. I think maybe we'll close time.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. Yeah.
She ready?
Amen.
She ready? This is Jesus talking about things that will happen, future. He says in verse 28, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up, lift up your heads, lift up, for your redemption draw nigh. We may be everything. It's easy to see in the news, and think that there's no hope, no feeling that things will become normal again. But we have ourselves to lift up. We live here, our feet planted all around. We don't have to live with our hearts buried in things. Just lift up with Him. Gives us hope. Look up. Think about what do you think this instrument is called? The attitude indicator. It's called the attitude indicator.
Amen.
That changes our attitude. When we become so fixated on things in this world, our attitude stinks,
Yep.
goes down,
Yep.
it's lousy. Wait. Lousy. But with our attitude lifted up, our eyes, our head looking straight on, thinking, feeling the things, blessings from God, we can walk, not stumble so easily. Walk into something. But if you're just you can stumble also, so you have to find a balance. There has to be a balance here where your focus is set. It's like when you're driving in a car, you know, mirror, check. You have to keep on doing that. That's work. It's hard. Am I saying that right? Work? No. It's different. Work. So the ASI is speed. It's fast, slow. AI is attitude, balance between both. Third one. Three. That is our altitude. Going indicators. It's called the ALT. It's our circumstances. Our circumstances can change suddenly. My computer changed suddenly.
Yeah.
Their problems can change. My attitude can change suddenly because we let circumstances push us down. Our altitude is affected because circumstances push us back down a lot of times. We need to understand to be above circumstances, not under circumstances, but above circumstances. We need to know how far above or below we are really, really, really are. Really, yeah. Uh, let's look at Psalm chapter 121. Psalm chapter 121. Psalm. I did that wrong, didn't I? Is it Psalm? Is it Psalm? PS? Like this? Or is it just Psalms? It's just Psalm. Okay, I thought I did it wrong. We just use an S. Psalms. Okay, so Psalm 121, verse 11. Oh, no. No, not 11. Verse 1, sorry. Verse 1. Verse 1. 1.
Amen.
Not 11. Okay. It says there in verse 1, my eyes into the hills from cometh my help. Verse 2, my help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. In Him we have our circumstances. You know that He allows the bad things to happen. The problems, the frustrations, the moments we feel like we will go crazy. He allowed it.
Right.
He wanted to test our faith. He wanted to test
Right.
our response to things. That is a little bit irritating because He knows that we're already feeling so stressed, stretched beyond measure, but He'll never let that happen. Not beyond, not above what we can endure, but feels like that sometimes. So He guides our circumstances. He doesn't change our circumstances. His help changes our reaction to our circumstances. He allows the pressure, but He gives us the ability to accept the pressure. Maybe not full of time, but sometimes we do that. When you're flying, you experience change in pressure in the plane.
Yeah.
You have experienced before, you feel ears, pressure. But do you know what happens at that time to the plane itself? Causes it to drop just a little bit. The pressure change, it drops. You don't feel it as much unless it's a big pressure change. And then you will feel it. Boom. Oh. You make sure that you're safe in the airplane. He doesn't change pressure. He doesn't change circumstances. He changes our response. He helps us to have a better attitude, a better perspective of the circumstances. It didn't feel easy to have my circumstances so turned upside down at the moment. But I know that He thinks I can take it. He believes, thank you. He believes that you can take it
Right.
I don't know why. Because I don't feel it, but feelings can be deceiving. You know, it's easy for our feelings to mislead us. You know, you see from Disney, it says, follow your heart. No, no. My heart, the Bible says, is so deceitful and wicked. I can't follow my heart. My heart will be wrong. I follow what he teaches me from his word and how he wants to apply it to my life. That's the hard part. This is easy to read, understand. It's good. But to do it is not so easy. So remember, we have the first one, which is the ASI. That's for the pilot. He has his instrument panel. That one is speed, going through the air, speed. That second one, that is the ALT. That changes your balance, your horizon, your attitude indicator. Or no, that was the AI. The third one now is the ALT. That's our circumstances. That's the pressure changes that occur on a plane. I feel like I've learned a lot, just those first three. But you know there's three more? There's still three more down at the bottom that I'm still feeling like the pilot themselves. I'm sitting here trying to feel comfortable, knowing that they trust their instruments. But I don't trust their instruments.
No.
I've never proved their instruments. But this time, we did. We had to. We didn't have any other choice. We have time to continue? I don't know what time it is.
We usually stop about now.
Yeah, it's 10:48 right now.
Yeah.
But I will put this in our letter, you know, sort of abbreviated in the letter. That's my prayer letter for these 2 months, because there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything. We're just sitting around. These three are experiencing more, I think, than we are, because this is their years that they're growing up that I think they will remember most.
Yes. Yes.
Through this experience. It's like World War I, World War II. It's like my time. I remember the Gulf War the most. My time in school.
Right.
They will remember this time the most in their experience. So they are growing more through this time than we are, because their faith, their experiences, their understanding of things is being tested more and more. And then later on, they're going to look back and realize that these things, they're honestly, they're true. But right now, they don't feel it. Yeah, they see what we're experiencing and they think, well, we'll just go along. But inside, they're feeling the struggle also. So we ask you to pray for them also, and us, our decisions, wisdom. And we wait for the Peruvian government to give us a green light, you know, that says we can go back to Peru, but to stay for how long? I don't know. So we thank you all for your support for so many years. And we have known you, loved you, thought about you, and waited for the time to come back here with you. Blessings.